Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic many couples face, but few truly understand. It's a question whispered in quiet conversations, pondered in lonely moments, and often, it's something husbands never see coming. Why do wives, as they get older, sometimes start to dislike their husbands? Now, before you jump to conclusions about romance fading or irreconcilable differences, let me tell you something crucial. The reason is often incredibly practical, and it has nothing to do with whether he still opens her car door or brings her flowers. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic betrayals. This is about the subtle, insidious erosion that can happen in a marriage over years, a wear and tear that can chip away at affection, respect, and even basic tolerance. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what it is, and more importantly, how to recognize it in your own relationship or prevent it entirely. This is crucial knowledge that could save your marriage. The unseen burden, mental load, and unpaid labor. Let's get straight to it. The number one most practical and often invisible reason wives start to grow discontent is something called the mental load, combined with the disproportionate burden of unpaid labor. Think about it. For decades, many women have been the primary architects of the home, the family, and the social calendar. It's not just about cleaning the house or cooking dinner, though those are part of it. It's about anticipating needs. Who needs new shoes? Is there enough milk? When is the car inspection due? Planning and organizing. Doctor's appointments, school events, birthday parties, vacations, meal planning, grocery lists. It's coordinating schedules, remembering deadlines, and ensuring everything runs smoothly. Emotional labor, remembering anniversaries, mediating sibling squabbles, managing extended family dynamics, being the primary emotional support for everyone in the household. It's about keeping everyone happy and the peace maintained. Research and decision-making. Which plumber to call? What's the best daycare? How do we handle this financial decision? It's the cognitive work of finding solutions and making choices that impact the entire family. This is a constant, invisible hum of activity in a woman's brain. It's like running a complex corporation 24/7, but without a salary, a corner office, or even a simple thank you. It's the never-ending to-do list that lives in her head, even when she's trying to relax. The practical fallout: exhaustion, resentment, and loss of self. Now, imagine carrying that load for 20, 30, even 40 years. The consequences are dire and deeply personal. Exhaustion. This constant mental and physical exertion leads to profound fatigue. Not just tired at the end of the day tired, but bone-deep, soul-crushing exhaustion that makes you just want to collapse. When you're constantly depleted, patience wears thin. Romance becomes an afterthought, a luxury you can't afford. And frankly, your husband, who may seem blissfully unaware of this invisible workload, can start to feel less like a partner and more like just another item on the never-ending to-do list, another person to cater to. The energy needed for intimacy and connection simply isn't there. Resentment. When one partner is shouldering the vast majority of this invisible work, while the other seems to glide through life, a deep, bitter resentment begins to brew. It's not necessarily about whether he helps out with specific chores. It's about the cognitive burden, the feeling of being the primary manager of life itself. It's about feeling like you're the project manager, the CEO, and the grunt worker all at once, while your husband is, well, just living his life. This resentment is a slow poison, eroding the foundation of love and affection. It makes wives start to see their husbands not as loving partners, but as another source of demands, another mouth to feed, another mess to clean up, metaphorically speaking. This quiet anger can fester for years, leading to a silent disconnect, loss of self. Over decades, constantly prioritizing everyone else's needs means a woman often loses touch with her own desires, hobbies, and personal growth. She becomes defined by her roles: wife, mother, caretaker. The vibrant, independent, interesting woman her husband fell in love with can slowly disappear under the weight of this unpaid labor. When she looks at her husband, she might unconsciously blame him for her lost self, for the life she didn't get to live, simply because he wasn't actively sharing the burden of creating space for her. She might feel trapped, and that feeling can be directed at the person closest to her. Why husbands often don't see it coming. You might be thinking, but my husband is a good guy. He works hard. And often that's true. The challenge is, many men are simply not trained to see or manage this kind of invisible labor. Societal conditioning. From a young age, girls are often subtly or overtly taught to be the keepers of the home and the family's emotional well-being. Boys are often not. This creates a deeply ingrained disparity in expectations and perceived responsibilities. Helping versus owning. Many husbands will help when asked. But here's the kicker. Asking is part of the mental load. A wife has to identify the task, decide it needs doing, figure out how to do it, and then delegate it. That's not sharing the load. That's just delegating. The mental burden remains hers. The default parent/partner. In many relationships, the wife is the default. If something needs to be done, the unconscious expectation is that she'll handle it, or ensure it gets handled. This rarely shifts organically unless actively discussed and rebalanced, leading to a silent assumption of responsibility. What can be done? The path back to connection. This isn't about blaming husbands. It's about opening eyes and fostering understanding. If you're a husband watching this and you want to ensure your wife doesn't slowly start to resent you, here's what you need to do to change the trajectory of your marriage. See the invisible work. Don't wait to be asked. Start proactively looking for things that need to be done. Think beyond my chores and consider the entire household ecosystem. What supplies are low? What bill is due? What appointment is coming up? Take the initiative. Take ownership, not just help. Instead of saying, "What can I do to help?" say, "I'm going to take over all the grocery shopping and meal planning for the next month." Or, "I'm responsible for all the kids' doctor appointments from now on, including scheduling." Take a task from initiation to completion, becoming the primary owner. Regular mental load check-ins. Sit down with your wife regularly and specifically discuss the mental load, not in a blaming way, but in a collaborative problem-solving way. What's feeling heavy for you right now? What can I truly take off your plate permanently? Make this a recurring conversation, like a business meeting for your household. Prioritize her well-being. Actively create space for her to pursue her own interests, rest, and reconnect with herself. If she feels supported in rediscovering who she is outside of her roles, the resentment can begin to dissipate. This might mean you take the kids out or you handle all dinner duties so she can have uninterrupted time. Acknowledge and appreciate. Simply seeing and acknowledging the unseen work can make a huge difference. A genuine, "Thank you for managing all of that. I know it's a lot," or "I really appreciate how you keep track of X, Y, and Z," can go a long way. Verbal recognition validates her efforts. For wives watching, this isn't about suffering in silence. It's about opening a dialogue, perhaps sharing this very video with your partner. It's about articulating the invisible burdens and advocating for a more equitable partnership. Your voice matters, and your well-being is paramount. The practical reason wives grow to dislike their husbands as they age isn't about a lack of love. It's about a lack of shared burden, a growing imbalance in the unseen labor of life that leaves one partner depleted and the other often oblivious. But here's the good news. By understanding this core issue, couples have the power to change it. They can rebalance the load, reignite appreciation, and ensure that their later years together are filled with companionship and joy, not quiet resentment. This isn't just about saving your marriage. It's about reclaiming happiness for both partners. What do you think? Have you experienced this imbalance in your own relationships or seen it in others? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more real talk about relationships.